We're going to practice 4 fraction questions that most students should know by the end of grade 6. I understand that math can be challenging to tackle alone. This channel is here to support and assist you or your child in learning math. What you'll need: a pencil, download our video worksheet, link in the comments, or use your own piece of paper, and time to use your brain, so no calculators are allowed. Here's a look at 4 fraction questions that we're going to solve. Feel free to pause and solve the question on your own first, or watch Ms. John guide you through the solutions. Feel free to use the timestamp below to go directly to the answer key. Question 1. We're going to use an image to answer this 3-part question. First part. Write a fraction for the parts shaded in this image. So let's first write the equation. So in the equation, we're going to find the total first and then shade it in. So let's first find the total amount of parts in this image. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 total parts in this image. So we're going to write 7 in the total spot. Now we're going to see how many are shaded in, which is also known as colored in. So 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 parts in this image that is shaded in. So the answer is 3. The final answer is 3/7. Write a fraction for the parts not shaded in. So again, we're going to write our equation first. So we're going to find the total first, then we're going to find the total amount that is not shaded in. So let's begin. So we're going to count the amount of parts that there are total in this image. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 parts in this image in total. Now we're going to count how many of the parts are not shaded in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 parts in this image that is not shaded in. So therefore the answer is 4. The final answer is 4/7. Now we're going to put each fraction into a decimal and a percentage. So let's first start with the decimal. So we're going to take the equation, and remember, for the shaded in over total, it was 3/7. So therefore, in order to get this fraction into a decimal, we're going to take the top number and divide it into the bottom number. So in this case, it's going to be 3 divided into 7. So let's solve for the decimal. So what we're going to do is 3 divided into 7. We're going to put that into our calculator. It's going to give us this big number here. What's best with working with digits such as these is to round it. So we're going to round this answer. What we're going to round is to 2 decimal places. Therefore, let's underline the 2. So in order to round this 2, we're going to draw a rough box. In this rough box, we're going to write 0.428. Now we're going to label it. We're going to label it left side, right side. So the 8 will tell the left side to go up by 1 or stay the same. Because the 8 is greater than 5, it will tell the left side to go up by 1. Therefore, the answer is 0.43. Now let's find the percent. So when trying to find the percent, what we're going to do is we're going to take that rounded decimal, and then we're going to multiply it by the answer in this question. What is the highest mark you could get on the test? The answer is 100%. So we're going to move that, and we're going to times 0.43 by 100. So 0.43 times 100 equals 43%. So what people often forget is the percent sign when writing the percentage. So don't forget it. So the answer is 43%. Now we're going to find the decimal of the unshaded over the total. Remember, the fraction is 4/7. So in order to get this fraction into a decimal, we must divide the top number into the bottom number. So 4 divided by 7. So we're going to solve for the decimal. We're going to do 4 divided by 7, which when we plug that into the calculator, it's going to give us this number. So our best bet is to round this number so that we can find the percent. So in rounding this number, we're going to round it to 2 decimal places. Therefore, let's underline the 7. Let's draw a rough box. And in this rough box, we're going to write 0.71. Then we're going to label that left side, right side. So the right side is going to tell the left side what to do. The 1 will tell the left side to go up by 1 or stay the same. Because the 1 is less than 5, it will tell the left side to stay the same. So the answer is 0.5. 𝗬𝗫. Now let's find the percent. So when working with the percent, we're going to use the rounded decimal 0.57. Then we're going to multiply it by the answer in this question. What is the highest mark you could get on the test? 100%. So we're going to do 0.57 times 100. So that is going to equal 57. People often forget the percent sign when writing the percentage, so don't forget. So the answer is 57%. Question number 2. We're going to add 1/4 plus 2/4. Let's first determine the steps to add like fractions. So step 1, we're going to determine which numbers represent the numerator and the denominator. Step 2, we're going to rewrite the bottom number in the fraction, also known as the denominator, to the answer section. Step 3, we're going to add the numbers, the numerators, together. So step number 1, let's determine the numerator and the denominator. The numerator is also known as the top numbers in the fraction. The denominator is the bottom number in the fraction. So again, numerator equals the top number, denominator equals the bottom number. Now let's rewrite the bottom number in the fraction to the answer section. So it's that simple, just write the 4 on the bottom number of the fraction in the answer section. Now let's determine how do we get the top number of the fraction. Step number 3, what we do is add the top numbers together. So let's first draw a rough box, and in that rough box, we're going to write 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2 equals 3. So that is going to be our top number. So the answer for 1/4 plus 2/4 equals 3/4. Question number 3, 16/25 minus 7/25. So first, we're going to determine the steps to subtract like fractions. So number 1, we're going to determine which number represents the numerator and the denominator. Step 2, we're going to rewrite the bottom number of the fraction and just move it to the answer section. Step 3, we're going to subtract the numerators and solve for the answer. So let's first determine which numbers represent the numerators and which numbers represents the denominators. So the top numbers represent the numerator and the bottom number represents the denominator. So numerator equals top number, denominator equals the bottom number. So let's subtract. So we're going to just rewrite the bottom number in the fraction to the answer section. Just as simple. So let's move that 25 over to the fraction in the answer section. Now we're going to subtract the numbers and solve for the answer. So let's draw a rough box, and in that rough box, we're going to write 16 minus 7. 16 minus 7 equals 9. So let's move that 9 to the top of the fraction. So the answer for 16/25 minus 7/25 equals 9/25. Question number 4. 1/4 times 2/4. So let's first look at the steps to multiply like fractions. Step 1, determine which numbers represent the numerator and the denominator. Step 2, multiply the top numbers together. Step 3, multiply the bottom numbers together. So let's determine which numbers are the numerator and the denominator. The numerator is the top number of the fraction. The denominator is the bottom number of the fraction. So remember, numerator equals top number, denominator equals bottom number. So now let's multiply the top numbers together. And so what we're going to do is we're going to write it. We're going to write 1 times 2. And now let's write and multiply the bottom numbers together. We're going to write 4 times 4. You don't have to do the step, but it really does help a lot of kids your age. So let's now just do a rough box. In that rough box, we're going to write 1 times 2. 1 times 2 equals 2. So we're going to write 2 in the top number of the fraction in the answer section. Now let's draw another rough box to find the bottom number of the fraction in the answer section. We're going to write 4 times 4. 4 times 4 equals 16. So let's write that in the bottom number of the answer section. So the answer is 2/16. So the only thing is there is another step. This step doesn't always happen, but it's like a just in case. In this case, we can do it. So step number 4, and that's going to be simplify if necessary. So because we have 2 even numbers, we know that we can divide both of these by 2. So what we're going to do is, remember, if you divide the top number by 2, you got to divide the bottom number by 2. So let's divide. 2 divided by 2 gives you 1. 16 divided by 2 equals 8. And if you didn't understand that part, don't worry, there will be another video that will slow it down even further. So the answer officially is 1/8. Here's the answer key. If you got an answer wrong, use a timestamp to go back and check your solution. Good job at taking ownership over your education. You did it! See you in the next video.